All right, folks, shares of Tesla coming back just a little bit, but still licking the wounds in the aftermath of the Donnybrook between President Trump and Elon Musk yesterday. My next guest has calls and owns some stock in Tesla. I want to bring in Rob Luna, Enterprise CEO. Rob Luna. Rob, that was a Donnybrook for the ages. You know, that's what social media was made for. So here's the deal.
That's what it looks like.
I find it amazing. So Tesla shares have fallen apart. You know, Elon Musk in the White House in the thick of it, finding all this theft of American taxpayer money. And Tim Walz goes on stage and he mocks it. He wants it to go lower. That was the exact bottom. It rocketed higher. And now here we are. So what happens from here?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is what happens, I guess, when you get the two most powerful men in the world kind of battling it out. Look, I think yesterday was an opportunity. Like you said, I am talking my book, Charles. I've got calls and I'm long the stock. I think, you know, like Brian Belsky was saying, though, take Elon Musk, I know it's hard, out of the picture for just a moment. The platform that Tesla is building, there's nothing like it out there. When you think about robotics, when you think about driverless cars, this is a stock, I think, over the next 2 to 3 years. If Cathie Woods is even half right on her prognosis of what's going to happen with this stock, you're going to do really well on it. But I think Tesla's a stock, if you get it under 300 and it's surrounded about noise like we're seeing between Musk and Trump, it's a stock that you've got to buy, you've got to own long term, Charles.
Let me ask you about the overall market, Rob, because you're always an optimistic guy. Even the biggest optimists out there have to be somewhat surprised at just the velocity of how quickly this V-shaped rally, it keeps finding more and more ways to go higher.
Yeah, I'm shocked, to be quite honest with you. Like you said, I am always optimistic, Charles, but I'll be honest, for the last few months, I've been a little bit more conservative. Now, I've been saying stay in your long core positions, but in terms of putting new money into the market, there's not a lot of clarity and transparency. However, you've got to listen to the market at the end of the day. This is not a bear market feel, Charles. This is a market where if you get something, like you said, that comes out Monday on a China deal, 10 to 20% upside, I think, could happen throughout the rest of this year. So this is a market you don't want to be short. I think you want to be a little bit selective, but I think the market's telling you it wants to go higher, Charles.
Cummins engine, you know, that's a new one from you. That's a different area for you, I think. I haven't heard you talk about these kind of names before. I love the stock has been around for a while. It's done extraordinarily well.
Yeah, so here's the thing, Charles. I mean, AI is going to be the biggest game changer in our economy that you and I will see in our lifetime. We've got a little bit of time to go, but I don't think there's going to be anything bigger. When you think about Cummins and you think about the power supply, just one stat I'll give you. Last year in the U.S., total domestic supply, power supply, data centers made up about 5% of that. The projection is by 2028, that will be 12%. This is why we talk about nuclear technology. Cummins is a huge player. You think about it for diesel engines, but they do the power grids, they do the generators, they do the battery supply, and they're doing some value pricing now with these data centers that I don't think is being priced into the stock. I think fair value is 20 to 25% higher on Cummins.
Got a minute to go. I want to also ask you about another idea that you like here, Airbnb.
Yeah, Brian Chesky, I think this is a CEO that's underrated. He has a lot to prove. This is a company that is a platform. If you look at some of the other services, they're starting to add on to just the traditional services. Those are growing 12 to 13%. I think the valuations are good here. This is one I think could be a 3 to 4 bagger if you've got the next 5 to 6 years. Put it away in your IRA account. I think Airbnb is one of the most underrated large cap stocks out there right now.
Hey, real quick, Rob, you work with entrepreneurs, small businesses, and just, are they hanging in there? You know, we see some of these things that seems like optimism has faded a little bit. We keep hearing about tariffs and things like that. What are you seeing firsthand with your firsthand knowledge?
Yeah, I'll just be honest with you. It's been challenging for them, and some of them have been impacted by some of the tariffs, especially in the construction industry. So they're just looking for some clarity. But most of the people I'm working with, and you wouldn't be an entrepreneur, Charles, unless you're an optimist, they are more excited about the tax cuts, hopefully, that are coming soon, about the deregulation, which is really what they need, is the government to get out of the way so they can do what they need to do to grow. So there's a lot of optimism out there. I think we just need to get some of this noise put behind us. That'll get them more optimistic, their customers more optimistic, and in return, we know the stock market will follow.
Absolutely. Hey, Rob, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.